Your videos suck. Yes, because 99% of editors make these mistakes, and so do you, even if you've been editing for years. These 8 minutes will change your approach to editing forever. I'll show you the mistakes that silently kill the quality of your videos and make them look cheap and awful, no matter how long you've been editing or which software you use. If you want your videos to look professional and grab viewers' attention, don't skip a second and watch till the very end. Composition is the foundation of any visual content. Mistakes in composition are not just visual flaws, they are a red flag for the client who can easily tell that the work was done by an experienced person. When frames are overloaded with elements, the viewer can't focus on what's important and the entire piece loses its value. When there are too many objects in a frame, the viewer can't figure out what they should focus on. This leads to confusion and lowers the quality of content perception. But composition isn't just about removing the excess. It's important to use the principles of visual hierarchy. In other words, the emphasis should be placed so that the viewer can naturally understand what's most important in the frame. Use a grid to arrange elements, ensuring proper placement of objects. This helps avoid overload and directs the viewer's gaze to the key moments. The fewer text and visual elements on the screen, the easier it will be to watch your video. Emphasis can be made not only by adjusting the size of elements, but also through their placement in the frame or their color. But it's not just composition that needs to be considered when creating videos and motion graphics. You also need to account for the software interface. If you are not careful, a significant portion of your video can be blocked, making information harder to perceive. To avoid confusion about where visual elements can be placed and where they can't, there are special guidelines. For horizontal videos, you can use safe margins in Premiere Pro. This way, you'll see boundaries that you shouldn't exceed unless you want your text to be covered by the YouTube player timeline. For vertical videos, I also have a solution. You can use 2 frames. One frame shows the interface zones, and the other marks where elements should be placed. This way, you understand that the speaker's head should be in the red zone, subtitles in the blue zone, and supplementary elements in the green zone. Text is an important element in any video. It can be decisive when it comes to readability and audience engagement. However, video editors often make 2 main mistakes: poor contrast and choosing a font that doesn't fit the context. When the text is too small or hard to see against the background, the viewer won't perceive the information. This is especially critical in ads or video presentations where the key message should be easily digestible. Use contrasting colors to make the text stand out. The contrast colors change depending on the background. If the text is still hard to see, you can add a shadow behind it or a semi-transparent black overlay. The text shouldn't only be visible but also harmoniously fit into the overall composition. Often, fonts don't match the overall theme of the content. For example, when creating a serious presentation about corporate services, using playful or graffiti fonts will look inappropriate and cheap. In addition to color and font, it's important to maintain proper letter spacing and line spacing. That is, the text shouldn't be too cramped. Otherwise, it will resemble a shape more than text, which is not what you want. Don't always align text in the center. There are many situations where you should make the headline large and place it in the center, but bullet points should be smaller and aligned to the left. To correctly select contrasting colors and choose the right and best fonts, you can use my PDF file, where I've shown well-matching colors and their codes. I also created a PDF file and folder with fonts that look good and can be used for different tasks and styles. Links in the description. When different styles are used in the same video, it can create a visual dissonance. For example, if you use a minimalist style for some parts of the video and then add complex textures and elements in others, the viewer may get lost. To avoid this, stick to one style. It could be minimalism, graphic style, or the everyone's favorite glow style, but it's important that the entire content follows a unified visual language. If you are creating motion design in your videos, make sure that each animation aligns with the message being conveyed. Because if there is no logical connection between what's said and what's visually presented, it will create confusion.
And a 6-week roadmap to get your first client and earn 1 to 5K a month as an editor.
If you've used a non-standard or highly distinctive effect, apply it to all elements. And also, don't forget about the contrast between elements. Sometimes slightly adjusting the colors can make a huge difference and improve the overall look by hundreds of times. Very often, music or sound effects are too loud or too quiet, which distracts the viewer from the main content. In reality, the correct sound balance is half the success. Before rendering a video, always check that voice is clearly audible and that the music and sound effects don't overpower it. To make your voice sound as good and clear as possible in your videos, you can watch my mini lesson on sound processing, link in the description. There's a universal method you can use and you'll never go wrong with the volume balance. The voice should be the loudest, at a level between -6 and 0 decibels. Sound effects should be a little louder than the music but clearly quieter than the voice. This should be around -20 to -10 decibels. And lastly, the music should be between -30 to -20 decibels. As great as this method is, there are nuances, so always adjust by ear, but stick to the volume hierarchy of different audio sources. Also, the absence of background music or sound effects can make a video feel empty. For example, in commercials, music plays a big role in setting the right atmosphere. Be sure to add the right music and sounds. And if you don't want to spend hours finding the right sound effects and music, or if you're just too lazy to search, you can use my SFX and Music pack. The link is in the description. When the white balance is set correctly, the colors appear artificial or unnatural. This is especially important if you are shooting with different devices or in varying lighting conditions. Use the standard color grading tools in Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve to set the correct white balance. It's essential to check the video on different devices, since some devices might display colors differently. Don't forget that overly saturated colors can disrupt the harmony of the shot. This often happens when the basics of color theory are overlooked. Instead of cranking the saturation to 150 and thinking it looks great, consider using vibrance for more precise and better color grading in your videos. If you have overly dark or light areas, adjust them so they don't stand out too much and throw off the light and shadow balance of the video. You can use curves to adjust these more precisely and quickly. It's critically important to fix these mistakes in your next video and never make them again. If you will watch my free 15-minute video, you'll learn even more about how to edit videos purposefully, understanding exactly what and why you are doing it. The link is in the description. And if you need individual mentorship, where we'll work together for a month to solve all the mistakes and issues that make your videos suck, then fill out the form. Maybe I'll be working with you very soon. If you found this video helpful, show me with a like. Write in the comments how many mistakes you made before. Thanks for watching and see you soon.